So I've been sitting here in my kitchen, staring at my laptop for a while, wondering how to share, or what to share. Because today is the day that we decided to tell the world, Sebastiaan and I, that we're not in a relationship anymore. And basically we haven't been for the last 3 months. We were in a break, and last week we decided to turn the break into a breakup, to not be in a relationship anymore, to change the form of our connection, because we'll always be connected. We have 3 kids, 3 daughters, and there will always be like a sort of bridge between the 2 of us, a beautiful bridge, and we both cherish that thought. And today we told them that mom and dad still love them very much and still love each other, but that we tried 3 months ago to get to know each other anew and see what kind of connection we would want to have. And today we told them that what we found out is that at this point in time we are happier not living in one house, that we still love them and it's not their fault, but that things will change. Things are already changing. And of course there was sadness, and they understood. It was beautiful. We talked, we ate together, the 5 of us, and they shared about their feelings and about their day, who wanted to play with them and who didn't want to play with them. And they expressed their worries and their desires. And things will change. Things are changing, and actually it's quite exciting because 9 years ago we met each other online. A few weeks before we first met each other in real, we were both studying. And although Sebastiaan mentions that it was love at first sight, it feels a bit different for me. It was feeling safe at first sight. I never ever felt safe with someone before. Really safe, really seen. And I felt so safe with them. And I needed that. I was studying, I traveled the world. I had a wonderful life, but I think I never ever really felt safe with someone. I felt safe on my own. I felt very safe on my own. Even when I was traveling on my own in a bus through Kosovo and former Yugoslavia and through China and Russia and all these countries on my own, I never felt unsafe. Never. But as soon as someone came close to me, I felt very unsafe. And he was the first one where I felt safe. He was the first one that showed me to embrace myself and embrace my body. I've always been very insecure about my belly, and he said, the first night, the first moment I saw you, I fell in love with you, but not especially. I loved your belly. And it was such a weird thing that someone expressed to me that he liked about me, that I didn't like at all. And that first time where he came over and we met, he stayed for 3 days in my house, and it was beautiful. And then I had to go. I went to Denmark to work on my master's thesis. I had to go back to defend his thesis. And then he came to Denmark and he stayed for another few days, and then I came back and I stayed for a few days at his place. And only 4 months into the relationship, I got pregnant, and within 4 years we had 3 kids. And both of us, we are both very committed to our growth as a person. And for a long time we grew together. We grew together like we would move together. But at some point, I think because we got to know ourselves and our own desires, and speaking for myself, I learned to not just be a follower, but to express my desires and to follow my own path. And at a certain point, our journey began like this, but we would find each other each time, and we would realize that we learned the same lessons, but in a different way. And the deeper we both dive into these personal explorations, the more we realized that our path wasn't going like that anymore, but it was going like that. In the last year or more, I've been wondering, like, should I stay in this relationship, or is it time to make a different choice? But I was always so afraid. Like, ever since we started the relationship, my biggest fear was that I would lose it. And I directly connected losing the relationship with losing life, with feeling unsafe, losing financial stability, losing my horses, losing a place to live. I made it very big. It was as if this relationship would stop, I would die. And at some point, I lost the fear. And somewhere in that time, we decided to start this break, to explore what it would be like to lovingly let each other explore life without the boundary, the cage maybe, that the relationship had become. And both we reached the same conclusion, that we actually felt happier without the relationship, that we felt more free. And I think people sometimes hear that I'm in a break or now in a breakup, and they ask me, well, aren't you sad all the time? Aren't you crying? Why didn't you collapse? You look so happy. You look so well, better than before. How can that be? And I think it's because the fear is not true. I think that by losing the relationship, I found safety within. I found safety within. And trust. And surrender to life. And that feels amazing. And it surprises me, because I never thought this would happen. But I feel like I'm taking space. I walk more straight. I feel more connected with myself. And I also see that Sebastiaan is experiencing something similar. And as soon as we are together again, triggers come back. It's such an interesting process of how, after such a long time, you don't really see the other person anymore, but just the image you have of the other person. At least that's what's my truth. I see my judgments of him. I see my fears projected back at him. And I guess our connection was, the connection is, because the connection is still there, it's just a label of the relationship that has been removed. And the processes are still going on. We still trigger each other a lot. And it feels like the right decision, letting this go. It feels exciting. And I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. And for the first time in my life, it's fine. I don't mind. I have trust. I'll find ways. I'll find ways to make things work. Already the last few months, I think we both became more dedicated as a parent, more loving towards our daughters. And some amazing things that I found. I think the most amazing thing I found over the last few months is a crazy amount of self-love. Crazy amount. I found compassion and empathy and patience with myself and all the places that I meet. Now I'm calm, but I can be super angry or super sad or in bliss. And I can be there with myself. I can be my own parent, I can be my own mom, my own dad, my own caretaker. And I also realized how important friends are. I feel so supported and so carried by so many of you, which is such a wonderful thing. Such a wonderful thing. So yeah, this is an intense time. Let's break up. I wanted to say breakthrough, and maybe that's what it is. Breakthrough to new dimensions, new possibilities. And I'm curious where my path will go. I'm curious where Sebastiaan's path will go. And I'm curious where my kids, their path will go. And I hope we will always support each other wherever this path may go.